A queen in chains and a human doctor's mistake. The hallway was cold and silent. Metal walls stretched in both directions, covered with warning signs in alien languages. Dr. Eli Walker walked slowly, holding a small tablet in his hand. He had just arrived on Outpost 17, a secret medical station hidden near the edge of the galactic border. He didn't know much, only that a strange alien was kept here, and that anyone who touched her blood had died. As Eli reached the final door, 2 guards stopped him. They wore full black armor and carried long plasma rifles. "You sure about this, Doc?" one of them asked, his voice muffled through the helmet. "You touch her blood, you die, just like the others." Eli nodded. "I'll be careful." The door hissed open. The room was dark, with only one dim light above the center table. On it lay the prisoner, an alien female with silver skin, long black hair, and strange markings down her neck. Thick metal bands held her arms and legs. Her chest moved up and down slowly. She was alive, but barely. A thick red liquid ran from her arm. It glowed faintly. That was her blood. Eli stepped closer. He had seen hundreds of patients across the galaxy, but none like this. There was something heavy in the air. Not just danger, something ancient. "What's her name?" Eli asked. "We call her Prisoner 7, the guard replied. "But the scientists whisper another name, Queen Soraya." Eli blinked. "She's royalty." "Was," the guard said, "before her blood became a weapon." Eli turned back to her. He took out his tools carefully. Gloves, scanner, sampler. His job was to study the blood without touching it. He moved slowly, scanning her veins. "Cell decay is advanced," Eli murmured. "The blood is breaking her from the inside." As he reached for the blood sample, the ship suddenly shook. A power fluctuation. The lights flickered. In that moment, Eli's hand slipped. The glowing red blood touched his skin. The guard screamed, "Don't move." Eli stared at his hand. Nothing happened. No burning. No pain. No death. I'm fine," Eli said, confused. "I feel nothing." The guard stepped back, gun ready. "No one survives contact with her blood. No one." Suddenly, a soft voice echoed through the room. "You are not like the others." Eli turned. The queen was awake. Her eyes, glowing gold, looked straight at him. "Who are you?" she whispered. "Dr. Eli Walker," he replied softly. "I was sent to study your condition." Soraya gave a weak smile. "They call it a condition. I call it a curse." Eli sat beside her. He looked at the blood on his hand again. Still no effect. "How did this happen to you?" Soraya closed her eyes. "My enemies changed my blood. They poisoned it, said it would make me untouchable. Now, even my people fear me." Eli's voice was gentle. "But you're still alive." "Barely," she said. "They thought the poison would kill me quickly. But it keeps me alive, just enough to suffer." Eli leaned closer. Maybe your blood isn't killing me because something in mine is fighting it. I've seen strange immune reactions before, but this is different." Soraya's eyes narrowed. "You might be the key, human." Eli stood. "I need to run tests. If there's something in my blood that can help you, we have to find it." The guards looked nervous. "We need to report this. Central Command won't like it." "Then don't tell them," Eli said firmly. "Not yet." As he turned to leave, Soraya spoke again. "Doctor," she said, "thank you for not fearing me." Eli paused. "I don't fear you, Queen Soraya. I want to understand you." As the door closed behind him, Soraya looked at the red mark left by her blood on the table. For the first time in years, it wasn't burning. Why didn't he die? The alarms were silent, but the fear was loud. Dr. Eli Walker sat alone inside the medical chamber. White walls, bright lights, machines humming softly. His hand, still unwashed, had dry blood on it, the alien queen's blood. And yet, he lived. He stared at it for hours. No burns, no skin change, no pain. Others had died in seconds. Their skin melted, their eyes turned black, their hearts stopped. But not him. Not even a headache. Behind a glass wall, 2 scientists in hazmat suits observed him like he was a bomb about to explode. His body isn't reacting at all, the older one whispered. Or it's reacting in a way we can't understand, the younger one replied. Eli could hear them. He wasn't supposed to, but the walls in this place were never built for secrets. His mind raced. What was it in his blood? What made him immune? But more than that, what had she meant when she said, "You are not like the others"? Suddenly, the speaker buzzed. "Dr. Walker," came the cold voice of Commander Hallex, head of Outpost 17. "You are to remain in isolation until further notice. Do not touch anyone. Do not leave." Eli didn't answer. He looked back at the blood on his hand. Somewhere, deep in his chest, he felt different, like something ancient had touched his soul and left a mark. Later that night, the lights dimmed. The guards changed. The cameras turned for a second too long. Someone had tampered with the system. The door to his chamber opened with a soft hiss. A voice whispered, "Come with me. Quickly." It was Soraya. Not on a table, not in chains. She stood tall, wrapped in a silver cloak, her eyes glowing like distant suns, her skin still pale, but her posture powerful. Eli followed without asking, down narrow halls, past sleeping guards, into a room deep underground, hidden from command. It looked like a garden filled with glowing plants and alien vines. Peaceful, warm, a secret haven in a prison. "This place was mine," she said softly, "before they turned me into a weapon." Eli turned to her. "Why did you bring me here?" "Because you need to know the truth," she said. "About me, about what they did." She sat beside a fountain with purple water and pulled back her cloak. Thin scars lined her arms, old ones, deep ones. "My blood wasn't always a curse," she said. "It was sacred, a gift from the stars. My people used it to heal, to bond, to share strength." "Then what happened?" Eli asked. "We were betrayed," she whispered. "A faction among us feared the blood's power. They twisted it, changed it, made it burn instead of heal. They turned it into death and blamed me." Eli felt a chill run through him. "So they locked you away." "They feared the queen would rise again," she said, eyes narrowing. "But now you've touched it, and you live. Your blood fights it, not as poison, but as balance." Eli's breath caught. "You think I can fix it?" Soraya stood and stepped closer. "You are not immune, Eli Walker," she said. "You are compatible." His eyes widened. "What does that mean?" "It means your blood doesn't destroy mine. It dances with it. It changes it. And now, I feel something I haven't felt in years." "Hope?" he asked. She shook her head. "Hunger." Suddenly, the door slammed open. Guards, plasma rifles raised. Commander Hallex behind them, face red with rage. "Step away from the prisoner," he shouted. "Now." Soraya didn't move. Neither did Eli. "She's not a prisoner," Eli said. "She's a patient. She's a weapon." Hallex snapped. "And you're contaminated." Soraya stepped forward, slowly. "If I was still a weapon, you would all be dead." The guards hesitated. Eli looked at them. "I can heal her. I need more time." "You've had enough," Hallex growled. "Take them both." The guards rushed in. Soraya raised her hand, and for a moment, the room flashed red, her blood glowing beneath her skin. The guards froze, unable to breathe. Their bodies shook, but they didn't fall. She was controlling it. And then, she stopped. They dropped to the ground, gasping. Eli turned to her, stunned. "How did you do that?" I didn't kill them, she said, because you were watching. Helix backed away slowly. This isn't over. He ran. Soraya fell to one knee, weak again. Eli caught her. You used too much energy. It was worth it, she whispered. They needed to see. He held her close. We need to finish what we started, Eli said. But I need your trust. And your blood. Soraya smiled faintly. You already have both. As the lights flickered again and alarms began to sound across the station, Eli knew one thing. This was no longer just about science. This was war, a deal in the darkness. The alarms had stopped, but fear still hung in the air like smoke. Deep inside Outpost 17, behind 3 locked doors and 2 fake walls, Eli and Queen Soraya sat in silence. The secret garden room glowed dimly around them. Vines curled on the walls. Blue flowers pulsed like they were breathing. Outside, chaos spread as command searched for them, but no one knew about this place. Not yet. Eli could see the queen was getting weaker again. Her glow faded. Her hands trembled. Her blood was fighting itself, and she didn't have much time. We can't stay here, Eli said quietly. They'll find us eventually. Soraya didn't answer at first. Her eyes were on the vines. Her voice was soft. This place was built for healing. A long time ago, by my mother's hand. Eli looked around. It's beautiful, peaceful. It was, she said, before peace became weakness. She turned to him. Eli, she said slowly, you must understand. Healing me is not just about saving one life. If we fix my blood, we destroy the weapon they created. And if that weapon dies, so does their power. Eli sat beside her. You think that's why they're so afraid? Yes, she whispered. They don't fear my death. They fear my survival. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Eli took a deep breath. There's something I need to show you. He pulled out a scanner from his coat. It beeped softly as he held it to his own arm. The screen lit up. What is that? Soraya asked. This, he said, is a scan of my blood before and after touching yours. Soraya's golden eyes narrowed as she looked. What are those readings? Changes, Eli said. My blood is mutating. Something in yours activated something in mine. Not just reacting. Combining. Soraya's face turned pale. You're becoming like me. Eli nodded. Maybe not fully, but enough. Your curse, it's rewriting me. She reached for his hand, gently, carefully. And for the first time, their skin touched. Nothing burned. Her touch was warm. You should be afraid, she said. I am, Eli admitted, but not of you. Suddenly, a sharp noise echoed through the tunnel walls. Metal scraping against metal. Voices. Footsteps. They were searching nearby. Soraya stood. We have little time. What do we do? Eli asked. She looked into his eyes. We make a deal. Eli was confused. A deal. Soraya walked to a hidden panel in the wall and pressed her hand against it. The wall opened, revealing a small room with glowing crystals, ancient scrolls, and a silver box in the center. This is my legacy, she said. Before I was taken, my people left this for me. Inside that box is a drop of the original blood, pure, untainted. Eli stepped forward. It could help us, or kill us both, she said. But if we mix it with yours, maybe we create a new answer. A blood they cannot control, one that heals without death. Eli hesitated. But if it goes wrong? I die anyway, Soraya interrupted. But if it works, we both become something they cannot predict. He looked at her. What do you want from me? Your trust, she said, and your blood. Eli took a deep breath, then nodded. Deal. Soraya opened the silver box. Inside was a single crystal vial glowing with soft white light. She took out a small blade from the wall and handed it to Eli. He cut his palm. Soraya did the same. They let their blood drip into a crystal bowl in the center of the room. The bowl hissed. The blood turned gold. The walls shook. Eli fell to his knees, eyes wide with pain. Something's happening. Soraya gasped. Her veins lit up. Her scars faded. And Eli, his eyes turned silver for a moment. They both screamed. Then silence. The bowl cracked. The glow faded. And both of them were left shaking on the floor. Soraya stood slowly. Eli, your blood. He looked at his hands. The wounds were gone, completely healed. It worked, he whispered. But before they could speak again, the wall exploded. Smoke filled the chamber. Soldiers stormed in. Commander Halleck stood in the center, gun pointed at Eli. You made a deal with a monster, Halleck said. No, Eli said, stepping in front of Soraya. I made a deal with a queen. Halleck's gun fired. The bullet never reached Eli. Soraya moved faster than light, her body glowing gold. She caught the blast with her hand. It sizzled, but didn't harm her. She looked at Halleck's with calm fury. You wanted a weapon. You made one. But now, I choose what I become. The guards hesitated. Halleck's yelled, shoot them both. But none of the guards moved. They had seen something no one else had. Two beings, glowing with shared power. Not monsters. Not enemies. Something new. Soraya turned to Eli. You are the key, she said. And they will come for us now. Then we run, Eli said. And we fight. The choice that changed everything. The hallway behind them burned with sparks and smoke. Eli pulled Soraya close as they ran through the hidden tunnels beneath Outpost 17. The new energy flowing through their veins lit their skin with a soft golden glow. Each step they took, each breath they shared, was no longer fully human or fully alien. They were becoming something new. Behind them, the sirens screamed louder. Automated defense drones were being activated. The station was locking down. Commander Helix had declared them traitors to the Galactic Order, but he didn't know what they had become. Eli's heart pounded, not just from running, but from fear, from power, from change. Something inside him shifted with every second, as if his cells were speaking a new language he couldn't understand yet. They turned a corner, entered a sealed room deep under the labs. It was old, filled with broken machines and shattered glass. This place hadn't been touched in years. Soraya leaned against the wall, breathing hard. Her body trembled again. Are you all right? Eli asked. The change, it burns, she whispered. But it also heals. I feel awake again. Eli knelt beside her, checking her vitals. Her temperature was rising, but her pulse was strong. Stronger than any alien he had ever treated. We need to get out of here, Eli said. We need to find a ship. Soraya looked at him. There's no ship on this station that will carry both of us. Not now. They've locked everything down. Then we make one, he said, or steal one. Before they could move, the wall in front of them slid open. A tall figure in gray armor stepped out. Not a soldier, not human. He was one of them, an elder of her kind. His voice was deep and cold. So it's true. You've bonded with the human. Soraya stood, her legs shaking. You should not be here. I was sent to end you, the elder said. Your blood has broken the seal. Your healing has awakened the old code. Eli looked between them. What's he talking about? Soraya didn't answer. The elder continued. Your blood once opened the stars. Now it opens death. If it spreads, the galaxy will fall. Soraya whispered, I never asked for this. But you accepted it, he growled. You let him touch your blood. Eli stepped forward. I didn't come to destroy anything. I came to help her. You are not helping her, the elder said. You are changing her, and yourself. Soraya's hand trembled. What do you want? Your life, he said. And his. Then everything moved fast. The elder raised his arm. Energy burst forward like lightning. Eli didn't think. He threw himself in front of Soraya. The blast hit him full in the chest. He screamed, but did not fall. His body glowed, brighter than before. The energy ran through him, changed direction, and returned back, twisting, roaring, wild. It struck the elder, knocking him to the floor. Soraya stared at Eli, her eyes wide. Your blood, it's not just bonding, it's defending. Eli shook, panting. I felt something. It didn't hurt. You redirected his energy, she whispered. You're becoming more. The elder crawled backward, bleeding black. He looked terrified. What are you? Eli's voice was calm. I don't know, but I think your time is over. Soraya stepped forward. Her voice was heavy with grief. Go home, elder. Tell them the queen is no longer theirs to control. He vanished in a flash of dark light. Silence returned. Eli sat down, shaking. What's happening to me? Soraya sat beside him. You were the spark, the change. My blood was never meant to destroy. It needed something pure, something brave. Eli looked at his hands. They pulsed with golden light. I made a choice, he said. I didn't know what would happen, but I'd make it again. Soraya leaned in close. You chose to give part of yourself to me. Now I give you everything. A soft light surrounded them. Not fire, not pain, something deeper, a bond. And then, explosions. The walls shook. Commander Hallex had launched the final protocol. The base was going to be destroyed. Eli jumped to his feet. We have to get out. Now. Soraya nodded. There's one way. My blood. It can open a gate. A living door. But only if you hold it with me. They reached the top level. Chaos everywhere. Fire. Falling metal. Bodies. Sirens. The end of the station. Eli and Soraya stood hand in hand, their glowing blood mixing once more. Together, they pressed their hands to the wall. And it opened. A swirling portal. Not made of metal or light, but of energy and memory. Ready? Eli asked. Soraya smiled. I was born ready. But this time, I won't walk alone. They stepped through. And vanished. Behind them, Outpost 17 collapsed into silence. The escape no one expected. The stars were wrong. Eli Walker opened his eyes to a sky he didn't recognize. 3 suns hovered above a green sky, and 2 moons drifted close to the horizon. Strange trees with glowing leaves bent gently in a wind that made no sound. The air was thick with warmth. Not hot, not cold, just alive. He blinked, slowly sitting up. His skin still pulsed faintly with golden light. Beside him, Queen Soraya lay still, her silver skin shining softly under the alien sun. They had escaped. But to where? Soraya stirred, her eyes opening slowly. For a moment, she looked peaceful. Then she gasped and sat up. We made it, Eli said, his voice low. She nodded, looking around. This place, it's not mapped. Not even in the old codes. The gate brought us somewhere outside time. Eli stood, wobbling a bit. Do you recognize anything? No, she said, but I feel something here. Something ancient. Something that remembers us. They were in a valley of soft earth and bright rivers that glowed like starlight. Giant ruins of stone lay scattered nearby. Pillars marked with the same symbols that had glowed on Soraya's skin back in the lab. Those markings, Eli whispered, pointing. They match your scars. Soraya walked toward the stones, her hand tracing the symbols. These ruins are from my people's first age, she said, before the wars, before the blood was cursed. She placed her palm on the largest stone. It lit up. Suddenly, the ground shook slightly, not violently, but like something waking up. From deep inside the ruins, a light appeared. Soft, pulsing. Eli stepped closer. "Do you think we were sent here on purpose? Or pulled?" she said. "This place might be the origin of everything." Before they could speak more, they heard a sound above them. A ship. Sleek, dark, silent. It wasn't human, and it wasn't hers. Eli and Soraya ducked behind one of the tall ruins. "Someone followed us," he whispered. "No," she said, eyes narrowing. "Someone was already here." The ship hovered, then slowly landed. The ground didn't shake. It was too advanced for that. The door opened. 3 figures stepped out. They were tall, cloaked, their faces hidden behind curved silver masks. One of them spoke in a voice like wind over glass. "Queen Soraya, and the one who bleeds gold, we have waited a long time." Eli's hand moved to his side, though he had no weapon. His fingers burned faintly with that same glow from before. "Who are you?" Soraya demanded. The lead figure stepped forward, removing his mask. His face was similar to hers, silver skin, golden eyes, but older, wiser, tired. "I am Arian. Once, I served your mother." Soraya's eyes widened. "You died. The council said you died during the betrayal." "No," he said. "I was sent here, exiled, to protect the last truths, and wait for you." Eli looked between them. "You knew she'd come." "Not her," Arian said, pointing at Eli. "Him." The wind stopped. The suns dimmed slightly. Soraya looked confused. "What do you mean?" "Your blood was always sacred," Arian explained, "but the curse turned it into death. What the council never told you was that the curse could only be broken by a bond with another soul, not from our world, not from our line." "A human?" Eli asked. "Not just any human," Arian said. "One who could survive the blood. One who could change it." Soraya whispered, "Eli, it was always you." "And now," Arian continued, "you must choose. You can leave this place and run forever, or you can enter the core of this world, the heart of the blood, and finish the bond." "What happens if we do?" Eli asked. "You become what they fear most," Arian said. "A healer who cannot be controlled, a queen who cannot be killed, and a bond that can heal more than one world." Soraya turned to Eli. "We do this together, no matter the cost." Eli took her hand. "Always." Arian stepped aside. Behind him, a door opened in the stone ruins. Stairs led downward into light. As they stepped forward, the other cloaked figures lowered their heads. But just before Eli crossed the doorway, a sharp pain struck his chest. He fell to his knees. Soraya caught him. "Eli." He looked up, eyes wide. "Something's wrong." Arian rushed forward. "His blood is being pulled too fast. The bond is growing unstable. He needs to complete it now, or he dies." Soraya's eyes burned with fury. "Then take us to the heart. Now." They raced down the stairs, deeper into the ruins. The light changed, grew stronger, turned from gold to deep white, almost blinding. In the final chamber, a pool of light waited in silence. It wasn't water. It was living memory. Pure, ancient blood. Soraya helped Eli into the center of the pool. His skin glowed so brightly it hurt to look at him. "You must let go," she said. "Trust me." Eli looked at her one last time. "Thank you for choosing me." She pressed her hand to his chest, and the pool exploded with light. The Queen's last stand for a moment. There was nothing. No sound. No light. No breath. Then Eli Walker opened his eyes, and the universe had changed. He stood inside the pool of living memory, but the chamber around him was gone. Now only endless sky stretched above. Stars swirled in slow spirals. Planets moved like fireflies in the dark, and in front of him, floating gently, was Queen Soraya. Her body shimmered like silver flame, her hair drifting like smoke. She wasn't wearing chains. No scars marked her skin. She looked as she once was, royal, radiant, and unbroken. But Eli couldn't move. His body felt heavy. Strange symbols moved under his skin. Glowing. Ancient. "Soraya," he whispered. Her voice echoed everywhere and nowhere. "You're not in the pool anymore. You're inside the blood." "What is this place?" Eli asked. "This is the source," she said. "This is where my people's power began. And now, where your journey ends." Eli looked down. His hands were glowing so bright he could see through them. Energy raced through his veins, faster and faster. "My body," he whispered, "it's changing." Soraya nodded. "Your human side is being reborn. The bond is rewriting you." Eli felt fear rising. "Will I still be me?" "Yes," she said, floating closer. "But stronger, wiser, no longer alone." They reached for each other. The moment their hands touched, the stars blinked. And then, the universe shattered. The chamber returned. The pool exploded in waves of golden light, throwing both of them to the floor. The ground cracked. Ancient walls shook. Eli gasped for air. He felt like lightning lived in his chest. Soraya coughed but smiled weakly. "You did it." But then, alarms. Above ground, something massive had landed. Arian burst into the chamber. "They're here." Soraya stood quickly. "Who?" "The High Council," Arian said. "They tracked the energy surge. They sent the Judgment Fleet." Eli looked at him. "How many ships?" "All of them," Arian said grimly. "They're going to burn this planet. And you." Eli's heart raced. "We need to leave, now." "No," Soraya said. Eli turned to her. "What do you mean, no?" She looked at him. "Buy steady. We leave, they hunt us. We run, they burn worlds. But if we stand here, if I make a choice in front of the galaxy, they can't hide the truth anymore." Eli stepped forward. "Soraya, they'll kill you." She smiled. "Maybe. But if I don't fight now, I'll never be free." Arian nodded. "The Queen has returned, and she must be seen." Hours later, as the sun began to set on the strange green sky, Soraya stood at the edge of the valley, facing the fleet above. Dozens of ships hovered like angry shadows. Lights flickered. Weapons charged. Eli stood beside her, armor covering his skin, glowing softly. The last of the ancient tech had accepted him as its bearer. Arian activated the signal. A galaxy-wide broadcast. The Queen was going to speak. Her voice was steady. "To the Council, to the galaxy, to the ones who feared me and the ones who followed blindly. I am Soraya. I am not your prisoner, not your weapon, not your curse." She looked into the sky. "My blood was twisted, my power stolen. But I found the cure in the place you least expected, in a human's heart." She reached for Eli's hand. He took it without hesitation. "He did not fear me. He healed me. And together, we healed something greater." Across the fleet, screens blinked. Soldiers froze. Commanders listened. "You fear us because we can no longer be controlled," she said. "But what you should fear is the truth." Suddenly, a beam of energy fired from the largest ship above. It struck the ground beside them. Eli stood in front of Soraya, glowing brighter. His arms raised. The next beam came and bounced off. The watchers across the galaxy saw something no one had ever seen. An energy shield formed not from metal, but from blood and will. Eli screamed from the pressure, but he held. Soraya raised her arms. Gold light burst into the sky. The fleet began to shake. Ships powered down. Weapons failed. Lights blinked. The blood bond had reached them. And for the first time, the galaxy knew. This was not war. This was awakening. The human who healed a queen. The fleet was silent. Across the skies above the valley, hundreds of warships hovered, motionless, like frozen birds of prey. Their weapons were powered down. Their engines hummed with hesitation. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Council did not speak with fire. They were listening. On the ground, Queen Soraya stood tall, her hands still linked with Eli Walker's. Her silver skin shimmered with strength, no longer poisoned. Her scars were gone. Her voice had become something more than speech, something felt across the soul. Beside her, Eli breathed heavily. The shield he created had drained him. His body still glowed faintly with golden light, but he was fading. Fast. You need to rest, Soraya whispered. Not yet, Eli said, forcing a smile. Not until it's finished. From above, a single ship descended. Not large, not loud, but full of meaning. It was the council ship. The oldest rulers of her people were on board. The ones who had cursed her blood. The ones who had lied, hidden, ruled. The ship landed softly, and a tall figure stepped out. Council Elder Miran. His face was cold, sharp, and untouched by age. His eyes scanned the scene, not with fear, but with calculation. Queen Soraya, he said flatly. Or should I call you something else now? Call me what you fear, she replied calmly. I am awake. His gaze turned to Eli. And the human. The mistake that should never have happened. Eli stood straighter, though pain screamed through his bones. I'm not a mistake. I'm the reason she's alive. Exactly, Miran said. And that is the danger. He turned to the sky. You've broken a law older than memory. No outsider was meant to bond with the sacred blood. Soraya's voice rose. You turned it into death. You feared love would make us equal. You feared healing would make you powerless. Miran did not flinch. We created order. You created fear, she snapped. And I let you rule me once. Never again. Miran raised his hand. A blade of light appeared above Eli, suspended, sharp, and ready to strike. Then let the blood curse die with him. Soraya stepped forward. If you strike him, she said, you will lose more than a queen. You will lose the stars. Miran hesitated. You wouldn't. Soraya closed her eyes. I will. The bond is inside me. His blood flows through mine. If you destroy him, I will unleash everything. You're bluffing, he said. Eli coughed, blood at his lips. She's not. Soraya's eyes opened, glowing, burning. And the earth beneath their feet cracked. The ruins lit up with ancient fire. The pool of memory deep underground began to rise through the ground, forming a circle of golden energy around them. Miran stepped back. What are you doing? I'm choosing a new future, she said, and it does not include you. The other council members began to speak over comms, nervous, angry, afraid. Ships shifted. Soldiers hesitated. Soraya held Eli in her arms. You gave me life, she whispered. Now let me give you forever. She placed her hand over his heart. The bond awakened fully. Gold light burst from her chest into his. And Eli screamed, not from pain, but from transformation. His body rose into the air. The energy twisted, shaped, rebuilt. His wounds closed. His eyes burned with silver flame. He landed softly, whole. Soraya smiled weakly. You're ready now. Eli turned to Miran. You wanted power, but power never belonged to the fearful. It belongs to the ones who heal, protect, love. The valley shook. Across the galaxy, watchers saw a queen and a human standing side by side, alive, bonded, unbroken. Miran took a step back, then another, and then he knelt. One by one, the council bowed. Across the stars, screens went dark, and a new signal lit up, a message of peace, unity, rebirth. 1 week later, on a new world built from old stone and fresh sky, Soraya stood on a high platform. Around her, both humans and aliens gathered. There were no weapons, no chains, only light. Eli stood beside her, dressed in robes of silver and white. He no longer glowed, but everyone could feel it inside him. He was the bridge. Soraya spoke to the crowd. I was born to rule, Then I was cursed. Then I was chained. She turned to Eli. But he taught me that healing is stronger than hate. And now we rise, not as rulers or soldiers, but as one. Cheers rose. Ships flew in the sky, no longer chasing, now protecting. A new symbol lit up across the great stone wall. Not of war, not of blood, but of bond.